My name is Alistair Lee, and in this video, I'm going to walk through the process of creating groups within Adobe Experience Manager Communities. Groups are one of the functions that you've got access to as you're setting up your Communities site templates. Groups act a little differently though. They're essentially sub-communities. You can create a group within a community, and that group can contain all of the functionality that you'd expect out of the community. So here's an example. We've got an outdoor community here with a number of different groups. One for hiking, one for winter sports, one for running. When I select one of these groups, I've got some of the functionality of the larger community that's specific to this group. So we've got an activity stream, we've got a blog, discussion forums, event calendar, web pages. You can add any of the functionality that you'd find in a larger community into your group. And these groups can be public or private. If they're private, they're actually hidden from uninvited members. The groups themselves can be created either in the authoring environment or on the publishing server by a privileged member who belongs to the group administrators group. Let's take a look at how this works by looking at a new community that I've just built for boaters. We're going to open up the structure of this community. And you can see here that one of the functions that I've dragged over from the functions library is the groups function. And if I click on the settings for this group function, you'll see that this is a group. I can specify which group templates I want to make available. If somebody is creating a group on the publish side, I can add more than one of these different group templates, workspace group or conversational group. These group templates work the same way that a site template does. In fact, let's start by creating a custom template for our boating groups. So I'm going to cancel out of this. And to create a group template, I'm going to go to the same area of Adobe Experience Manager that I would go to create site templates. Clicking first on Tools, then Communities, and then selecting the Group Templates icon. And here we'll create a brand new group template. I'll give it a name, Boating Group Template. I'll set it to Enabled. I can add a description as well as a thumbnail. But I'm going to go and adjust the structure. And you can see here for our group template, we've got access to the same library of functions that we had for the site template. And that includes the ability to add groups within groups. And so you can have nested groups within a community, a group within a larger community. For this particular group though, I want to make sure that we've got some discussion forums that will be specific to our different topics. I'll call this forums. You'll notice we've got a number of different options anytime we're adding a function from the function library. Most of these are self-explanatory. Privileged members enables you to add an extra level of security onto a lot of these functions, ensuring that only specific members of the user community are allowed to generate user-generated content. I'm not going to select that here though. I want all members of this group to be able to participate, so I'll click Save. Let's add a blog for this particular group template. I'll click Save. And an FAQ page. This will just be a web page, so I'll drag the web page function out. And we'll call this FAQ for frequently asked questions. Okay, this is a fairly simple group template, but this will do for now. I'm going to click on Save. And now we can use this template. If I go back to my community by clicking first on Communities and then Sites and selecting my boaters community, I'm going to click on Structure and look at the settings of these different groups. In this case, I'm going to get rid of that conversational group template that we're going to enable and select the new boating group template that we just created. Before I click on Save, you'll notice there is the option here to enable publish creation of groups. Again, this will enable users who are part of the group administrators group to create new groups on the publish server. Rather than having to use the back end of Adobe Experience Manager, they can create a group directly from the community itself. I'm going to enable this for now to show you what that looks like and click Save. I'll once again save my site with the new structure. Let's go in and publish that just to make sure that we've got all of our settings saved. To add a new group, again, I can do that either from Adobe Experience Manager on the authoring server or on the publish server. Let's first take a look at what this looks like from the authoring server. I'm going to click on my community itself. I've got a groups folder within the community. I'll click on that groups folder and then click create groups. Here I'm able to walk through a 4-step wizard to create a group. First, by giving this a group title. This is a boating community, so let's create a group for rowers. I can add a description, select a name, and then select one of the templates that's available to me in the group templates group. And let's make sure that we've selected the template that we just created, this boating group template. I'll click next, and you'll notice that we can set a separate design for our group than what we've got for our main community. This will take effect as users go from the community into the specific group itself. I can select a theme, as well as add additional branding that will show up as the header image as people go into the group. In this case, I want to leave the branding consistent, so I'm not going to adjust these settings. I'll click next. And you can see I've got some additional settings that I can use here, including the ability to automatically add site moderators to my group. I can adjust the membership to make this either a public group or a private group. There are 3 different options here. Optional membership means anybody can access the group, and in fact any community members are able to post content to the group itself. Required membership means that this will still be an open group that anybody can join, but only group members will be able to create user-generated content. If you want to add something to the forum, for example, you need to be not only a community member, but a group member. Restricted membership will restrict the membership of the group only to invited members. In other words, for people who haven't been specifically invited to this group, they won't even see it as an option. Let's make this a required membership group, so it will be available for others to join, but you'll need to be a group member to actually post content. If I want, I can also start inviting specific individuals or other groups within the community at this point by typing them into this text box here. I can also set a thumbnail for the group, and this will add an image when somebody's browsing through groups. This is a rowers group, so I will select a rowing image, and then click next and create to create my group. Let's once again publish my group to make sure that we've saved all of those different settings and sent them to the publish server. And now I'll reload my boaters community and click on groups, and you'll notice I'm able to now see a rowers group. And when I click inside of that rowers group, you'll notice the different functions that we included inside of our group template are here: a blog, forums, FAQ page. You can also see a list of different members of the specific group. If I go back to that community groups page, because I'm logged in this case as a group administrator, I've also got access to create a group from the publish server. And this is because we enabled that checkbox in the group settings, the ability to create groups from the publish server. So let's take a look at the interface as a group administrator on the publish side. I'm going to click on the new group button. We'll create a group here for people who are enthusiastic about sailing. So we'll call this the sailing group, or sailors to match the rowers group. I can give it a description. I can start inviting specific individuals. And again, these can be either individuals or groups that are already defined. And I can also specify here whether this is an open group available to anybody to access and join, or whether it's a member-only group. In this case, this will select the restricted option where, unless specific individuals have actually been invited, they won't even see the group exists. I'm going to leave this as an open group. I've got a template here that I can select. Let's go ahead and select the boating group template that we created, and an image I can apply to my group as well. I'll click on the new image link and select a sailing image and click create group. Adobe Experience Manager will automatically create my group. You may need to refresh your browser to see it on the web page. You'll have access to all of the different groups. That's how easy it is to create groups within Adobe Experience Manager Communities. Thanks for your time.